Hey guys, this is Matt. Uh, we had a fun week last week. We started off matching midwinters in our Champion War League matchup. We spun shortly after that, matched them again. We had a little bit of a Town Hall 10 advantage there, and we actually won. It was pretty close. I think it was a tie, and we won on percent. Now that I say that, let me look. Yeah, it ended up being a tie. We won on percent. We had a little bit of an advantage. It wasn't really a fair war, but it was just that's what happens when you spin randomly. And then we spun right after that and matched another CWL team. So we matched up with 3 Point Park. We came out with a 1-star victory here, and we actually were down at Town Hall 11. So it felt good to get this win, and I think we did pretty well. We had just a lot of organization, a lot of planning went into this, and I think at this point, I think a lot of us who are in CWL who weren't doing tons of arrange wars are now realizing how important that war plan is, and so we were down 4 Town Hall 11s to 5, and that war plan was essential to getting this done and doing this well. This war came down to, like so many of these wars come down to, your Town Hall 10 and Town Hall 11 performance, and that was where we shined. We ended up going 4 of 8 on our 11v10 hits. Some very good hits, and I think a big shout out goes to, I think Leo ended up having to do 4 of these because I know Ryan had something come up, and he was able to get a couple of these cleared. So I'm going to actually recap one of those. And then we were pretty efficient. We had 5 11s to 2-star this war, which made it was pretty tough. So we ended up having to use 12 hits on the 10v11 to get these 5 Town Hall 11s 2-star, but we had a great start. We got 3 of them on the first try, and the other 2 were a little bit more pesky. As you can see, it took us 5 hits on their 1 and 4 hits on their 5. So, we got it though. And for them, they had a good bit of trouble as well. 2-starring our 11s, I think. Yeah, they went 4 of 11. They had 11 tries on it, and then on their 11v10s, they were only got 3, so 3 to our 4 with it. But we had 8 tries; they had 10 tries, so that was the 1-star difference there. I'm going to actually recap. I don't normally do this, but just something I really enjoyed was Buggy's 2-star attempt here, and this was a fresh hit on this Town Hall 11, and he ended up with a whole lot of percent, which was really big. If you notice the percentage of this war, it was a 1-star win, but it was a pretty big percentage win we had there. So that if they did tie, I think we might have had them on percent, and it was because of these 2-star on their 11s that were just 2 of them. I think 3 of them ended up being over 60%, which is big help. So Buggy comes in with a little bit of a walk here. He's got baby drags down here. Sorry, I was zoomed in too much. Working this percent down here, taking these free buildings. He thought he would get more, but there were 2 Teslas there that limited what he was able to get. So he's charging in with his Archer Queen. He has a whole lot of wall breakers because he's coming in and then back out of this compartment here at 3 o'clock. He used 1 rage on her so far, and he has 2 more rages, and he's got bowlers up here that he's working on, eliminating some pathing and funneling for his bowler, and I believe he has a CC full of bowlers as well. So he's got 2 golems coming down here, and healers, unfortunately, ended up kind of, and his Archer Queen ends up going the other direction, but it kind of ended up working really well for his base because of the percentage he got. He was able to, when he lost his Queen walk down here, thankfully the CC wasn't something too rough. There was no loon in it, I don't believe, and so it wasn't too bad on his bowlers, and he had a couple wizards and poison that were able to get down that defending CC. So as his Queen walks, it's so stupid, she starts busting through a wall here, but whatever. His bowlers push in, and he's got those raised up healers on them, and they're able to get down the Town Hall. Get down the Eagle, which is really big for your late percentage on these hits. He loses the Queen there. He had some more free percent down there, and the big one up here was there's a there's a Super Bowler, and he gets a whole lot done with these. I believe there's the 4 healers, maybe 3 still up on him, and he just doesn't lose health. He keeps going, gets down several extra buildings here, and the bounces are getting him 2 buildings at a time. and just gets a whole lot of percent from that one super bowler, and he had a few archers in the bag and a minion to knock out some percent down here on free buildings, and ends up with a very healthy 70% 2-star on a fresh hit. So great hit, Buggy. That was, even if we did come down to a tie, that would have been a pretty big in our favor, that percentage. So good hit there. Also, I'm going to do a 11v10 hit. Don't normally do these, but the meta really is these are really tough. So it's fun to see them, and also this was not one of those. This is not a mass attack in any form. And again, this was Leo who had to cover for Ryan, and did a great job. Leo, I don't know if I've seen him even really bothered much with any of the mass attacks, which we know in varying degrees can be successful. But he just seems to have one of those minds that he's never okay with spamming. he wants something more controlled, and he is really good at it. So he started off a Baby Dragon, getting a whole lot of free percent out there, and kind of helping with the funneling. And he's charging his queen in, puts his warden down with her to get in, and he ends up raging them up to get them through the archer queen and the BK. And the kind of big thing was that he was a nice little help right there, because his queen didn't have anything to path deep enough to aggro the defending AQ, so he had a little skeleton spell there to aggro her, so that this archer queen would see that, his own archer queen would see that, see the defending archer queen attacking the skeletons. And that was really, I think it was the reason why I'm showing this was because of that. I thought, oh, I've never seen anyone do that before. I'm not a hardcore YouTube follower. I do subscribe to a good bit of stuff, so I've never seen anyone do that. So I thought that was really like a top tier kind of thing. It was just a really creative way of getting to an archer queen that there wasn't anything for any way to get her otherwise. So he's charging in here with some bowlers, and he is eliminating the first Inferno tower and getting his queen. She's already phased, so she's going to go down here to this other Inferno tower. It's just how this base is set up. It's set up to where the Inferno towers, both of them, were set so that the common way you would enter into the compartment, you cannot reach over it. So his archer queen is dying out, but he comes in with some back end loons here and a little bit of help from some baby dragons, and he still got his BK up, and his BK ability just was running out, and he has a full health warden from these healers, and the healers are keeping his ground troops up, keeping them happy. So he's bringing in a nice big chunk of loons here. He still has 2 rage spells after this long raid. He still has his rage spells, and this is happens when you have a very detailed plan attack. You can do things like this, because it did not look good, and everyone was like, wait, hey, he has 2 rage spells. Maybe he can get through Max Tesla's an Inferno Tower and a whole lot of percent, and he actually does without his warden really catching up with the loons. Just those 2 rage spells there at the end. So that was a really intricate, really fun attack. I thought that was great. So great job there, Leo. Neither side ended up with any 10v10 3 stars, but we did have lots of good Town Hall 9 action. So I wanted to show this one. This is Sean hitting their 14. He starts off with a little queen walk here, and he's got these free percent down here, that percent, but he's just eliminating pathing of his troops and taking care of things early. And trying to remember what happens in this attack exactly, but I remember I liked it, so we'll see what happens. We'll watch it together and see how it unfolds. His queen's starting to get a little bit low on health. His minions are starting to get to those cannons down there. It looks like they're kind of just out of range of this air defense, or no, they're just in the range. So they're gonna peter out. His queen walk still coming around. Okay, I remember now. He ends up hybriding in his shattered down here in the south, I believe, and kind of walked his queen into range of the CC. And then after dealing with the defending CC, he is able to put down his king and his bowler CC and run a shattered right into this compartment down here with a jump spell, kind of getting right access to the core that has those 2 expos, and then eventually onto the defending archer queen. So he's got down his golems, got the wall open, putting down his bowlers, and his queen's catching up, which sometimes this happens when you do these hybrid attacks where you end up walking your queen one way and she ends up pounding on a wall because you can deploy your shatter a little too soon, and she'll lose her breadcrumbs. She'll lose her pathing to catch up with them all. He was nice and patient on his hybrid and was able to keep that from happening. So he's got everything taking that jump. He's raising up his bowlers, raising up everything, and coming into that defending archer queen. Takes her out fast, and he's now still has 13 hogs to deal with just like 3-point defenses, 4-point defenses on the back end of this base. And so he's going to run through that really quick, and he even has a heal spell that he puts down on the bomb tower there, but really didn't need it. Probably, I don't think he's going to hit another giant bomb or anything, so I'm sure he could have swagged that heal spell, no trouble at all. So his queen's going back up now that she's completely out of range of everything, and all the defenses are down, and still have a couple of healers, pair of healers, keeping the queen up. So I was able to keep his queen and having her have some good late life to help out with his back end defenses. So that was a really good attack shot. I played the wrong attack, but it's all right. No, it was the right one. Just forget which base I was looking at. This is our boy Frigg Off. He got a name change. Apparently in Finland, they think the PG version of saying the F word is offensive. So he got a name change through this war. But he also dropped a sweet 6-pack. So I'm going to end up showing you both of his hits. If you get your name changed and you 6-pack, I'll show all your hits. Okay, so just make that's a notice. You can hold me to it. So if anyone else out there gets name changed because of their silly names, you'll at least get on YouTube. So here he is. He comes in. He charges a little bit with his queen, takes out the defending CC, and comes in with some raised up late wall breakers here that saves him a jump spell or anything like that. Gets his queen access really deep into this base, and just kind of the way this base was laid out, he saw that if he got into this compartment, he was going to be able to get access to a whole lot of defenses. And so he just kind of ends up mass hogging this base. Nothing terribly fancy, just looks at it, has a CC full of max hogs, and just kind of does a little kind of heavy-handed, comes in, has 3 heal spells for him, doesn't have to worry about losing his queen because there's not enough point defenses down there, and just keeps on dropping. There's more hogs. Just keeps on dropping them, peppering them in. Whenever the hogs kind of path through and left this behind, he had those extra ones to deploy up here, and then he's pinching in on this side over here, just kind of mass hogging it. Really cool attack. I think he ends up with a whole. I don't know if you want to try and count those. It's a lot of hogs, and he's still having to deal with the defending BK. So he loses a few there, but doesn't matter. BK isn't able to deal with all those hogs, and I think he ends up putting them all down, but still had plenty of cleanup and had his queen. So that was no problem. And then here's his second hit, getting his 6-pack. Actually, no, I'm not going to show his second. Sorry. I liked it. I had it. I was going to show it. I forgot I changed my mind. So here's Leo on his Town Hall 9. Leo was the one who I was talking about earlier, was doing that 11v10 hit. And so this is how Leo overcomplicates Town Hall 9. Also, I have an even funnier one to show my next recap from our CWL war. But here's Leo. He's just eliminating some pathing over here, eliminating pathing down here, and putting his queen in. And he's just going to let this base be what it is. And it's going to have a big old empty core, and it's going to allow really easy pathing for a whole bunch of Valks and Giants. And so he's just going to, he's trying to get, he wanted to, he didn't have any DPS on those Giants though. He wanted the healers to stick with the Giants, but it didn't really matter. So here comes the defending CC. He had lured it out over here, kind of inadvertently with his baby dragon, but it's all right. and he's just going to let his raged up Valks just punch through everything, and then they just melt. I mean, it's funny. They walked up to the queen, and you don't even see them attack. It's just everything dies. The bowlers do a really good job of targeting these outside things, and so whenever the Valks were trying to jump out the base, they lose what they were targeting goes down, and so they just come back through, stick in the base, and all along there's these healers just healing them up all the way around. He's putting down his cleanup around this outside edge, making sure to get that done. He had this outside Tesla that he puts a baby drag on, and the baby drag almost is able to, but with the Valks being raised up, they punched that wall a little bit too quickly. But even so, all these defenses are right outside the wall, and he's going to get his bowlers going to do a whole ton of work while they're kind of just cruising right behind all these Valkyries, and they're just taking free shots at defenses. So I think a few of these Valks path around the outside, bowlers are still not getting targeted, queen's still not getting targeted, and defenses are just falling like crazy. So Swags his heal, Swags his poison, Swags his AQ ability, hold dominion. What the hell? So that was our war against 3 Point Park. It was a close war, a lot of fun. It's great to have these random spins hit on these CWL clans. It can be a little bit stressful having these one after another, because again, this was after our original CWL match, matching Midwinter, matching 3 Point Park, and it's good war to them, good game, and great is Alchemy. See you guys.